The olive groves, the sunsets, the tiled streets, the beaches, the slow-poured glass of wine. All of these are Portugal, but Portugal is so much more. It's equal parts gritty and grand, colorful and dark, simple yet complicated, with a rich, long history that has shaped it. It's the kindness of strangers and the warmth of a simple, comforting meal on a rainy day. It's a ruin that whispers its past and a rhythm that dreams the future. It's an explorer that is always seeking new horizons while carefully preserving the vibrant traditions of the past. All of these are Portugal, but Portugal is so much more. Well, for us, discovering Portugal has been an adventure. It's a journey into not just a different culture, but a different way of life. In Portugal, or in Europe in general, you learn to slow down. You learn how to wait patiently, but you also learn how to enjoy a 3-hour dinner with new friends. You take the time to really live in the world around you. And when you least expect it, you find yourself having experiences unlike any you have ever dreamed of before.
This is the 10th and final video in our series, 10 Things We Love About Portugal as Musicians. We knew from the start we couldn't squeeze all of these into one video. We had to give each one the care and attention it deserved. Life in Portugal isn't perfect, but life isn't perfect anywhere. But over the past 4 years, we have deeply appreciated the beauty of the everyday moments and the adventure of discovery that Portugal has given us. And all of these speak to one thing: the gift of a unique, inspiring, refreshing way of life. For us, the way of life in Portugal plays out in so many different aspects. We feel it through its history, its people, its celebrations, its nature, and in the everyday moments. We began the story with those first 9 videos, but in every case, the story keeps growing.
Well, last year we took a big leap and we moved from Porto, the city in Portugal that we love, to a town on the outskirts. And our first 2 videos talk about that move and our discovery of the town that we moved to, Santo Tirso. And our decision to move began as an effort to find a good space to write and record our music and to make our videos, a place that was big enough for our recording studio, the grand piano and all of our other instruments, but a place big enough to rehearse with a full band when we needed to. And we found that in our new home.
Also, while we loved the energy and activity of Porto, we craved a little space and quiet, a place where we could hear the wind in the trees and see the stars blanketing the sky at night. At the same time, we didn't want to be isolated. We knew we needed a community. But even in the United States, we had long ago learned that not all towns or communities are equal. Some stand out as being much cooler. They're more creative, they're more interesting, they have people we feel like we can connect with. So this knowledge made us really thoughtful about our choice of towns here in Portugal.
As we were exploring Santo Tirso, we found a town with a real sense of community. And ultimately, we were so lucky to be welcomed into a family of friends who support each other and who love and cultivate the arts and the culture. What do you love about Santo Tirso?
The friends, the family, getting around every day and finding every day you're never alone. You're never alone, even in the bad times and the good times. I love it. For 47 years.
Santo Tirso is a small city with a rich heritage. It has everything from a medieval monastery to modern art. When we drive into town and we see the glowing lights and the people gathered outdoors at all the cafes, talking and laughing late into the night, well, it's not like anything we experience in the United States. This is one of our favorite things about Portugal. It's the sense of community. It seems like the way of culture of recent years, at least in the United States, has been to isolate more and more and spend a lot more time online. We love that going out and being part of life and including everyone from the youngest to the oldest is still important here. There's a sweetness and an innocence to this place that is truly special.
We're so glad we made the move. When it comes to living in a foreign country, life in a town instead of the big city, it offers a completely different experience. And since we made that first video, we've grown even closer to the people that we've met in town. We've danced at birthday parties, we've tried unique foods and gotten to have many more opportunities to practice the Portuguese that we've been trying to learn.
And just recently, we had another reason to appreciate small town life. In December, we played a concert in Porto, which was great, with a lot of people there and a beautiful venue. But the next week, we played a show in Santo Tirso, and that show was just a magical experience. The crowd was so incredibly appreciative and supportive. We could feel their love on the stage and after. We made a lot of new friends that night.
It's a testament to the support of the family that you can create when you live in a town rather than the big city. We're truly grateful for the experiences that we've had since finding our home in Portugal.
Sometimes it seems like the big cities of Portugal, like Lisbon and Porto, get all the credit. Not that they don't deserve credit for being fascinating centers of culture, history, and art, but Portugal is so much more than Lisbon and Porto. In our third video, we explored the 10 UNESCO-designated creative cities of Portugal. These cities are famous for diverse reasons. Some have fostered amazing literature, some offer music, whether traditional or modern, and some have folk art. Other cities are famous for their food, architecture, sculpture, and media art. These diverse art forms, springing up from cities all over Portugal, speak to the tenacity and creative spirit of Portuguese artists.
And for these artists, making their art is as natural as breathing. They have worked with the resources they had, even though those were often limited. And they have created art just for the joy of doing it and the pride in their work. So much of the art is deeply embedded in Portuguese culture, so that it has its own unique twist.
For us, discovering the art of Portugal has truly been refreshing. It feeds our creative juices to see, hear, and experience the colorful expressions of these artists. Even now, we find art everywhere, even in the little local markets where artisans sell their creations, and in the music festivals, even in our own town.
Portugal is laced with all kinds of music, from a variety of traditional sounds to modern genres such as rock and electronica. But even the modern music has its own unique Portuguese twist that you won't find anywhere else. We wanted to understand the musical heritage of Portugal, what was behind all of these sounds.
As we started to dive back into time, we were amazed at Portugal's musical heritage. It had musical kings, such as King Dinis, who lived during the 13th century and was a musician, songwriter, and castle builder. Later, King João IV not only led Portugal to its independence, but is also credited with the Portuguese hymn that we now call O Come All Ye Faithful.
João also wrote a book called In Defense of Modern Music. He was challenging the thinking of the day that only the old traditional music had quality. Well, even then, João knew that creating new kinds of music was important. These nations' leaders played huge roles in the evolution of music in Portugal. Much later, when the nation was in the grips of a dictatorship, people were crooning fado songs in the streets, a real-life lament for their situation. And today, fado is still very popular, and it is considered to be a quintessential representation of Portugal's culture.
Fado, I think, means fate, and it's all about lost love, and it's very dramatic. You go to the Fado club, and it's very smoky, and then out comes this beautiful, beautiful girl dressed in black. She winds up her dress like this, like they all do, and then they close their eyes and start emoting.
Also, during the dictatorship, pop musicians began creating songs that helped spur a revolution. In fact, the Carnation Revolution in 1974 was actually triggered by the playing of two of these songs. You can learn all about it in our video about Portugal's musical history if you're interested.
We're still learning about how Portugal's history has shaped it and how it continues to evolve. This history actually helps us understand more about the music that we hear today.
At first glance, Portugal might seem like a quiet country. In general, its people are pretty reserved most of the time, unless you catch them at a football game or something. But looks can be deceiving, because not a month goes by where there's not at least one noisy, fun festival going on somewhere in Portugal.
These festivals range from huge, colorful spectacles to small town celebrations. And each town has its own unique festival, celebrating the local culture and the history there. And if there's something beautiful, important, or interesting, Portugal is going to celebrate it. And for us as musicians, it's great to see so many festivals celebrating music, including jazz, EDM, rock, traditional, and a host of other styles. And there are also festivals that celebrate pretty much everything that Portugal produces. Regional or national wines, flowers, there's horses, cheese, seafood, olives, even sand sculptures. All of these are different festivals.
Some festivals, such as Carnival, which is celebrated all over Portugal, or São João in Porto, started long ago with something historical. Then they grew to include all kinds of quirky, fun traditions. Being invited to share in traditions like these by the locals has been one of the coolest things about living in Portugal.
Sometimes our days blend into nights as we are working, practicing, or recording in the studio. And as artists, getting out in nature is exactly what we need. For us, we can walk out the door of our home and we can be on a path in a few moments. Or we can drive to a beautiful beach or a sprawling national park with forests, rivers, and waterfalls. There's just so much to see here.
For such a small country, Portugal's natural beauty is incredibly diverse, and it offers some of the most jaw-dropping scenery in the world. Out in the Azores Islands, there are wild volcanic landscapes dotted with lava caves and pools.
And on Madeira Island, you can hike on dramatic ridge trails and visit tropical waterfalls that thunder down steep cliffsides. On the mainland of Portugal, the natural beauty is just as spectacular in every region.
Yeah, the Alentejo region is home to ancient cork forests and a dark sky country at Alcaiva. And there are national park areas along the coastline where you can see all the varieties of birds and other wildlife. In the north, the lush terraced vineyards of the Douro Valley will take your breath away.
And inland to the center, the majestic snowy peak of Serra da Estrela rises up. In Algarve, stunning seaside caves line the coast. Portugal has so much to offer, and it's always amazing to discover a beautiful place that is not advertised like this one. It's just a short distance from our home. It's become one of our happy places. It's just our way of life now to be able to enjoy places like this.
Our greatest experiences in Portugal are not centered around castles or festivals, or even natural beauty, but around people. Sometimes our lives feel like we stepped into an Anthony Bourdain episode. We can't film a lot of these moments, but we treasure them. Like one evening, we might meet a group of smiling Frenchmen who are on their annual motorcycle trip, this time through Portugal. Everyone's willing to chat, even if only a few speak English.
And then the next night, we might be invited to our Portuguese neighbor's home for a barbecue in the garden with their closest friends. We'll learn about food traditions and which butcher shop and which village we should visit to find the best smoked sausage in the north. It's pretty awesome. Another night, we might meet a lawyer turned chef who was born in Africa but lived all her life in different parts of Portugal, and she'll tell us about why she made the choices that she did. She'll tell us how Portugal has changed and what it was like when she was a little girl.
We might be invited to a private family Christmas Eve party. where we all feast on traditional foods and children receive gifts at midnight.
Or we might find ourselves dancing on the terrace to American music at a Portuguese birthday party. Few people speak English, but they know the words to all the songs.
Since we've arrived in Portugal, we've been privileged to be welcomed behind closed doors into the homes and gatherings of people in our new community. We met people who were born here and those who came later. We've gotten an inside glimpse into the attitudes and customs of some truly fascinating people.
For us, and we know we've said this before, but the culture of Portugal is one that has social time built in. There's a thriving cafe culture as people gather to talk and laugh for hours. No one is in a rush to get home.
Last year, during the blackout that covered the Iberian Peninsula, knocking out all the lights and phone reception, we found ourselves gathering with others on the terrace of the closed cafe. Everyone brought food from the refrigerator and we had a big picnic. No one was worrying about the blackout.
Yeah.
This was just an opportunity to spend time together, and it was amazing. These are the moments that make up the part we prize most about the way of life here.
From the rich red wines of the Alentejo region to the port wines of the north, which famously sustained sailors on their long journeys, wine is a huge part of Portuguese culture. Each of the 13 wine regions in Portugal takes pride in the various wines produced there, and we would argue that the wines of Portugal are some of the finest in all of Europe.
Often you'll see people at outdoor cafes enjoying glasses of wine as they spend time together in community. You can sample the wines at wine bars and restaurants in beautiful locations, paired with perfect food choices. People of all classes can enjoy wine in Portugal because you can get amazing bottles at the store for just a few euros.
We've also enjoyed discovering the food in Portugal, which is as varied as the regions that they come from. Each dish is cooked from fresh local ingredients and is usually steeped in the tradition of the region.
For centuries, Portugal's food and wine culture has evolved through the contributions of adventuresome seafarers and hardworking farmers, fishers, and vineyard owners. Today we get to experience the benefits of that. All along the long coastline of Portugal, you can get amazing seafood. Farmers inland and on the Azores Islands produce an incredible variety of cheese. Olives and olive oil are staples here. Smoked meats are an art form. The fruits and vegetables are always fresh, colorful, and seasonal.
Well, there's delicious food at all levels here. You can experience Michelin star meals in beautiful restaurants, or you can enjoy simple but tasty meals like bifanas, which are marinated pork sandwiches, or the francesinhas.
You won't need to eat again all day after that meal. It seems like on every corner there's a padaria or a pasteleria pumping out fresh bread and pastries. In fact, many towns have their own signature pastries, so there's always something new to try. Also, handmade gelato is popular in Portugal if you're looking for a sweet snack.
Heavenly.
Yeah.
And wine isn't the only beverage of choice in Portugal. There is a growing craft beer scene, along with the staples, Superbock in the north, and Sagres to the south.
And if you really want to sample the cuisine, there are food and wine festivals all over the country. But both play a very important role in every festival, of course.
For us, trying new foods in Portugal has been fun. We love checking out new restaurants, but some of our favorite meals have been home cooked. Again, the sense of community is strong here, and the food and wine help to tie everything together.
Portugal's music tells a lot about it. This is a place where adventurous explorers once sailed far off into unknown seas and discovered new lands. Portugal's people survived all kinds of troubles, not the least of which was a dictatorship that lasted almost 50 years and attempted to crush free thinking and control the culture of the people.
And then there were the decades of adjustment that came after the dictatorship. Its after effects can still be felt today.
The many challenges, struggles, and triumphs the people of Portugal have gone through have shaped its music. Because in the history of the world, some of the greatest music has emerged in times of adversity.
Fado is one of Portugal's traditional musical forms that was forged during dark times. But in recent years, it has come to the spotlight on a global level. It's showcased in movies, and fado singers may share the stage with world-famous rock or pop artists.
But Portugal's music is so much more than its traditional sounds. All around Portugal, independent artists and bands and even fado artists are creating exciting new music. They are pushing the boundaries of genres like rock, singer-songwriter, alternative, electronica, blues, funk, and jazz.
As musicians and music lovers, we are always discovering more of Portugal's music, artists, and bands. And we love meeting new musicians.
In fact, if you're an artist or a musician living in Portugal, leave us a comment below. We'd love to check out your music.
As we've lived here, we've also become aware of a lot of the challenges that artists face in Portugal's music scene. We can say from experience that it's not easy to find venues to play. It doesn't seem like there's that many, and that it's hard for music artists here to envision a strong future for themselves. So the artists that persevere and continue to make great music are truly to be applauded and supported.
And to you artists and musicians in Portugal, we're so glad you're making music.
Yeah.
You are part of the fabric of this country. You are its voice, and you contribute to a way of life that's very meaningful to us and to countless others who live here.
This is not a country that is racing to get anywhere. Portugal takes its time and enjoys the moments. It's not about collecting the most prizes before you die. Here, people work to live rather than living to work. They notice the beauty around them, and they enjoy building life with each other.
For us, this way of life brings balance. We get to focus on relationships and experiences, and we get to live in the present. And we get to live in a state of discovery, which keeps us on our artistic toes.
And even though we have been here for 4 years, we never feel complacent. Life in another country is always a challenge because you always have that sense of different, even in the everyday things. But if you enjoy that kind of challenge, or if you feel stuck where you are, then an experience like this could be just what you need.
We're so grateful that we've been able to live in Portugal. It's a privilege to live here. It's added to the richness of our lives in ways we can't even measure.
So we just wanted to take a moment to thank you for watching this video. If you enjoy our videos, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. This really helps us out.
As artists living abroad, we've picked up some great tools and resources that have helped us along the way. Some of those are linked in the description below. We only recommend things that we've truly found to be valuable ourselves. We've also linked to our own music so you can check it out. By using any of these links, you'll help to support us so that we can continue to bring more videos your way.
So thank you, Portugal. We're looking forward to making more memories with you.
Thanks for watching.
We'll see you on the next one.